Alright, that's the top of the hour, so let's get into it. So, today we are going to be playing Aces and Adventure. Or is it Aces and Adventures? Adventures. So, this is a card-based roguelike, or roguelite. I've played a fair bit of the early game, but what differs from most card-based roguelites is that this is not a deck builder. It uses a standard deck of playing cards. All events involving combat are based on poker hands. So a high card beats a lower card, a pair beats a single card. You can't actually. You can't respond to a pair with a single card. You'll see as we play. So, to show off the game early on, I will start with the first scenario, and then we'll move on to a later scenario which I have beaten before, but I haven't beaten with every character. So, from this menu, you can see each of these decks is a scenario, and on the deck pack, you can see several things. In the top left is a logo representing the character which has the best time for that scenario. The top right is the rank for the scenario that you've completed it with. So, for example, I have an S on the first 3 and then an A on the 4th. I haven't completed the 5th. And then along the bottom here, just above the scenario's name, are the markers for all of the other characters who have beaten the scenario. So, I'm going to jump into it. You start with only Magnor, the warrior, and as you finish scenarios, so the first 4 scenarios, once you beat them, you unlock a new character. You get the assassin, the mage, the hunter, and the enchantress, I believe their titles are. Each character plays very differently, and they all have their own unique abilities, right? And their own unique decks of abilities that you can build your so you can make your own deck, and those abilities are sort of a deck builder roguelite, but you don't build it within the scenario. You just build it and take it into the scenario, and then those abilities are played using playing cards, as which are also needed for attacking. So, simple rundown of characters. Bottom left is your attack. When you attack something, you subtract your attack from the target's defense, and that is how many cards they will draw to choose their own defending cards. Middle is your health, which is also represented by the die, or the middle is your maximum health, the die is your current health, and the right is your defense, which is subtracted from the monster's it's subtracted from an enemy's attack when they attack you to determine how many cards they use to attack you. Top right is leaves. Now the leaves for characters are the meta progression. As you play more, you gain vials of magic, and you can use these to grow new leaves on the trees for each of the different classes. So I've got at least 3 leaves on each tree. Some of them I have more, but As far as I've seen so far, the first and second leaf are always the same effect. The third leaf unlocks a new option to choose when your character reaches level 1. The fourth and fifth leaves are the same effect. The sixth is a new option to choose when your character reaches level 2. So every third leaf is customized for the character. It's something that can change how they are played, but the others are minor bonuses that just give little power-ups. So I'm going to go into this with the first scenario, first character, going with Magnor.
Let's get on with it then.
You can see there's a starter deck that you have, and I've made a deck which, like, I don't know the specifics. I'm not a genius. I need to turn down the gain a little. There we go. I think I was peaking the mic a bit there. Should be better now. There we go. It still says I'm peaking. Okay, is that good? Yes, that is good. Okay. But yeah, it's still peaking. Okay, hang on. I can do this. That should do. Okay. Audio troubles, huzzah, and balancing most of all. It's still hitting the red. Turn it down to here. So I don't know how to make good decks. I'm not good at card games. So, like, maybe this is good? I don't know. It's got special new cards that aren't in the starter deck, so it's probably better than the starter. Who knows? So, one of the benefits I've gained through leveling up this character's tree is that at the start of the game, or the start of the scenario, I can choose one card in my hand to mulligan, discard it and redraw
The
something.
first breath of fall fills your lungs, crisp in the morning rays of an aging summer sun. Before you lies the space that mountains made, like open hands for life to grow beneath low clouds.
So, each scenario is a preset scenario, and there is voice acting for each of the cards.
A trail plunges into the vale ahead. Behind you, there is nothing. No memory of yourself or how you came to this place. Just the gentle pull of a sloped path, and the courage to draw the next card from the deck of fate.
So we're starting off in this peaceful glade. When you first play the game, and each time you unlock a character, actually, it talks about discarded items of a dead person propped up against a sapling that is growing with them. So from what I've gathered, the characters you play as are sort of saplings from the Tree of Life or something like that are being grown from... They're grown from people's remains to achieve something.
A pilgrim bearing a stone walks along a riverbank. Startled by your sudden appearance, the stone is raised in defense.
Who are you? Shield at the ready.
So, we have our first combat. The pilgrim is a weak enemy for sure. But you can see I've got my hand of cards. I choose a poker hand from this to play as an attack. If I just click on the enemy, the game will automatically pick the best hand. So you don't have to actually know all the poker hands just to have the basics, but you should if you want to really plan ahead. to the left of my playing cards are my abilities. Defensive Stance is a buff. This will stay with me permanently or through this scenario and keep applying its bonus. Chop is just a general ability. It will just do what it says. So in the top left of an ability card, you can see the requirements to play it. Chop requires a spade and a black card, which is either a club or a spade. Defensive Stance requires a diamond and a heart. The more powerful an ability is, the more specific its requirements. So some cards may require a 6 or less, some cards may require a jack or better. I have seen one card which specifically requires the Queen of Hearts. So they can get very specific. Now there is reason not to just play all of your abilities. For one thing, you draw one ability per turn. You do not redraw them after battle. So what you use in one battle, you will not have for the next. For another, we will see that later. For now, I am going to play Defensive Stance. And I also have, down in the bottom right, an attack token. Some abilities will use my attack token. That one didn't. Chop does not. The attack token being used is indicated in the top left by a pair of crossed swords. Now, I'm not going to use Chop on this pilgrim because there's really just no need. He's got very bad stats. He's not going to be a real risk to me. So, we've just seen I played a king to attack. He drew a couple of cards, or drew one card, I guess. Tried to attack me, or tried to defend himself. His 6 was a worse card than my king, so he took 1 damage. 1 damage because I played 1 card. If I played a pair, it would be 2 damage. 3 of a kind, 3 damage. Straight, full house, flush, any of those, 5 damage. So, the enemy is now attacking. You can see his attack stat is 1 because I've got defense that has reduced it to a minimum of 1. You can't reduce their attack below 1. So he only draws the 1 card, he plays it against me. A 10 is beaten by a king, and because my defense card beats his, I deal damage to him during his attack. Defensive Stance, because it's a +1, it's a higher tier card, which means it's better than a basic version of this card, but it does have more specific requirements. It says +1 defense and defense damage. So when I defended there, I dealt damage back and thus dealt 2 damage. If our cards were to match, so if we both played a 10, nobody would take any damage. So I'm just going to attack with a 10 here. And I do not need to play Battle Scavenge because the battle is over.
Wait! Wait! Forgive my haste, stranger, but the forest is no longer safe. The creatures bear arms and walk on 2 feet, pulled from their embrace of Mother Earth by the lure of power. Here, take this healing draught to restore the vigor our misunderstanding cost you.
So if I had taken any damage from that battle, I would be healed
That'll
back.
make a fine scar.
You've forgotten yourself? This shady path leads to a witch versed in brews known to stir the mind. But I must follow the river. Swift journey, traveler. The seasons are changing. Warmth won't be free for long.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
And there's my first level up. So, in this first scenario, I think it's only in this first scenario, you start without your basic ability. Your hero ability you can use once per turn, and it stays available. So you don't ever discard it. So, the prepare ability for Magnor, or the warrior, is it uses one card and your attack. So instead of attacking, you redraw a card, meaning this one card that it costs will be drawn into your hand, or will be replaced by a new draw.
The sun mottles the forest floor in leaves of light. A strange fire weaves its way through the woods.
It's my turn.
Okay, so we're into the first real battle now. It's still not going to be a very difficult one, but you can see this fox has far better stats than that pilgrim did. Instead of 2-2, it's a 5-4. I don't have a very good hand right now. I need to hold on to cards for defense, so I am actually going to take this 3 of clubs and use it to prepare, so I can draw something better. I can't attack now, but it means I've got better options for defense. Okay, so the Lantern Fox has drawn a pair of 8s. Unfortunate, unlikely, considering it only draws 3 cards. I have to respond with 2 cards. I don't have a pair of anything, so there is no way for me to actually beat this attack. I'm just going to take the 2 damage no matter what. But that also does mean I can get rid of 2 of my low cards and draw something new. I also have Revenge as a reaction ability, or card, action, whatever it's called. No, it is ability. So I play this when the trigger happens. So after failing to defend, that's the trigger. Deal 1 damage to the attacker, draw an ability. I might as well do that, because I draw an ability to replace it.
Hold your shield high!
So this is a lower level version of defensive stance. You can see it costs 2 of any card, rather than the one I've got using a diamond and a heart. It also gives 1 defense, but does not give the extra defense attack power, or the defense damage. Instead, if I replace this buff, it draws an ability. So you can only have one buff at a time. I'm not going to use that. I don't need it. Vigilance. Deal 1 damage to adjacent targets when turn order changes. Turn order will not change in this scenario. -1 offense to adjacent enemies. So this Lantern Fox is adjacent to me. If there were 2 enemies, whatever enemy was further over would not be adjacent. So that's just not as good as +1 defense, because +1 defense already reduces their offense by 1, and for everyone, applies to all of them. So let's throw the Queen of Diamonds at this guy. I don't think I need to Battle Scavenge. So Battle Scavenge gives me shields equal to the damage I deal. Shields are temporary health. They last for this battle only and absorb damage before my health takes any. Here we're going to see an example of a draw. So we're both playing a jack, neither of us will take
Thrust
damage.
the axe!
I think I can grapple here. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember the order of events in this scenario, because there is one case where I want to keep my ability cards in hand for something, but I don't think it's coming up yet. So I can just use Grapple Shield +1, and this will just kill the fox.
What a curious creature. You don't recall seeing a fox go on 2 legs, much less wielding a spear by lantern light. Of course, you don't remember much at all. Fortunately, the struggle has returned some of the memory to your limbs.
The gods favor me!
Now we truly achieve our first level. So, normally, or when you first start, your only option when you level up will be the leftmost card. Reaching level, or the third tier of, or the third leaf, let's call it, with upgrading the tree. Reaching the third leaf for a character unlocks this other option. So, Iron Blood. Suffer -1 attack damage per heart in your defense hand. So, that can be very good, because that just flat reduces the damage you take. If your enemy plays an ace, and you don't have any ace, you don't have an ace card, so you can't match them, but you have a 2 of hearts, you can throw that 2 of hearts in there as your defense card. You don't win the battle, but you take no damage. That can be really good. Alternately, there is Shield Bearer. Gain 1 shield at the start of your turn, retain a shield at the start of your turn. So, that means first turn you can have one, you'll start with 1 shield. If you don't lose it, the next turn you will have 2 shields, because you retain 1, you gain 1. And you will just continue to have 2 shields until you lose them. And then you'll just build them up again. So that's valuable because it protects your health, but also because shields on the warrior can be used as a cost for some abilities. I don't think I've really got many abilities in my deck that consume shields, but I'm still going to go with Shield Bearer.
A strange smell guides you through the thickening thicket to a wall of thorns. There, you spy a hut, sinking in the mist. A cauldron lid clatters in the contest against its contents, losing upon your arrival to a viscous hand.
Thrust the axe!
Vile cauldrons. I could Whirlwind to deal 1 damage to everything, and I probably will, to all enemies that is. This doesn't use any cards, but it does use my attack. Would drop all of the enemies to 1 health. I don't have anything in here that can do 2 damage. Chop could and kill something, but I think in this case I just Whirlwind. I don't need to battle scavenge, I will be fine. No. So you can see each time, like, they took their damage sequentially, not all at the same time. So battle scavenge was triggering for 1 damage, and then 1 damage, and then 1 damage, triggered 3 times separately. If I had used it, I would not have gained 3 shields, I would have gained 1. So, ooh, that's unfortunate, but I've got a shield. Throw my lowest card. Vile Cauldron drew an ace. Ouch. I have a king to match their king, And that 3 is beaten by a 6. So that one is dead.
Hold your shield high!
So I think I throw the ace at this one just to make sure it will die. It wasn't a guarantee. It could have drawn an ace, but very high chance that it wouldn't. Oh, and that's an ace as well. But again, I have a shield, so I can just throw out my rope.
Thrust the axe!
And I have a full hand of abilities, that is good. So I could play a pair of 8s here. It would have 2 defense, so it would have to draw, with 2 cards only, a pair that is better than an 8. Pretty low chance, but I think I'll save the pair of 8s. And yeah, a single card is plenty to beat this.
Oh, my hero. Long roots on you, and nigh a trace of that foul infernal magic that caused my cauldron to bubble over so willfully. Now, how to thank you for saving me from my renegade soup? Lost your past? Well, where's the last place you remember seeing it? This misty potion is good for the memory, or perhaps you prefer a health tonic? A banquet in every bottle.
So, often after each battle that you win, you will be given a choice of reward. So up until now, we've just been given the reward that the story dictated, but now we get a choice. We can choose.
Refill your health with this liquid feast.
We can choose the potion of health to heal ourselves. That is an immediate heal. It's not something we take with us and choose when to use. Or we can choose the potion of memory.
The path from potential to power is littered by many bottles.
That will level us up to level 2 and get us another passive effect. I'm obviously going to take the level up.
My might yet grows!
So you can see, if I were to reach the 6th leaf with the warrior, there would be a second option for the level 2 trait, but there is only Spiked Shield for now. Spiked Shield says, deal 1 damage to attacker for each spade in your defense hand. When an enemy damages your shields, it takes equal damage.
A thaumaturge, an alchemist, a bit of a cook. I am these things. But an oracle is what you require. Seek out the crook in the mountains where the sun makes its bed. There you will find a circle of stones and a cave beyond it. Should you survive, you will come to a desert of black sand, where a grand pillar cut by giant hands reaches into the blue vault. The Oracle's temple sits like a jewel atop this scepter. But be warned, infernal magic leaks from this cave like an open wound. I will have to find a new place to collect the slime for my soup.
A white tree emerges from the mist like a lonely ghost. Its bare branches bring a strange sorrow to the rim of your eyes. Just then, 2 figures leap from the bushes and scare away the spectre of a memory.
It's my turn.
Okay, and now we have here our first enemy with an ability or an effect. This Bulwart has guard. Enemies with guard must be attacked before enemies without guard, so I can't attack the Lantern Fox until I beat this guy. That will not be a problem. I've got a pair of 8s, so I can throw that at it, and presuming I win the attack, which I did, I deal 2 damage. I don't think I need to battle Scavenge here, I'll be fine. And that'll end the turn. There's a queen. I can't beat that, but I have the spiked shield, so I deal 1 damage per spade in my defense hand. If I throw this 3 of spades out, I'm losing the defense anyway, so this will deal 1 damage to it. The shield that it's going to break is going to deal 1 damage to it as well because of spiked shield, so it's dead. And then the Lantern Fox has a 9. If I use the 10, I beat its attack and deal 2. If I use the 9, we draw, and I deal 1 via spiked shield. I'm dealing 2 because of defensive stance +1 if I win the defense, so that's just better for me to do.
You better not dull my axe!
So you can see Shield Bearer was my preferred choice here because Spiked Shield, for my first level trait, because Spiked Shield works well with it. I do have some cards somewhere, I think, that will consume shields as well. Also, you see, a pair of 4s is a very low pair, but they're only drawing 3 cards. Getting a pair is unlikely.
A strange man leans against a sack of goods on the side of the road. A single eye gleams at you from the shade of a wide-brimmed hat.
I've little care for the makings of man, second-hand goods and all. But the leaves you bear, those I shall trade for something more useful to you.
And here we have the Merchant. I have seen the Merchant in every scenario so far, so he always shows up at the same position in a scenario, once per scenario, and he asks for my abilities. It's just a discard, so I assume if I reach the end of my ability pile, I could reshuffle the deck and draw them, but at the moment I can discard abilities for these items. Equipment is a permanent thing. The Steel Skin Potion is a single-use consumable. So you can see in the middle, Armor costs 3 abilities, Weapon costs 2 abilities, Potion costs 1. You can only hold 5 abilities, unless you get something that says you can hold more. Some characters might gain a level trait that lets them have more. Some scenarios might have an effect that does that. But with the 5 that I've been saving,
I'll take that.
I can discard all of my abilities.
This one.
And get the weapon and armor.
You track a timid path to a bend in the river, arriving as the pilgrim hurls his rock at a wall on the far bank. It chips and tumbles into the water.
Just a single stone.
You hear him sigh.
That's all my life was. This wall represents the unknown, or so my ancestors say. I've thrown the stone I brought from the mouth of the river, and so I join my strength to the arm of my descendant who will, someday, break this wall. Was the witch able to conjure your past?
He asks.
My pilgrimage is over, but it sounds as if yours has just begun. This is the fastest path up the mountain, but there is smoke that smells of meat, and I know not its source. The other road curls by the den of a great bear who, legend claims, taught the other animals to stand. I doubt any path will be simple, but whichever you walk, I hope it gets you to where you need to go.
Take the most direct path up the mountain.
So here we have a choice of
There
a
is some-
split path in the scenario.
There is something unsettling about the smell in the smoke.
So depending on what we choose here, we'll get some different events. I think it's only one different event in this case. I do know what each option leads to in general. I can't remember the specifics of the different paths, but I remember the general result. So let's go around.
Lulled by the gently winding road, the pilgrim's warning slips your mind until a bend brings you face to face with a lumbering figure standing tall in the path.
Shield at the ready.
The Iron Bear. It's wearing armor. So, the Iron Bear is a strong monster. If I'd taken the other path, I would have had to face, I think, 2 weaker monsters, but I prefer just having to fight one. So, now that we have encountered the merchant, I don't need to save my abilities for him anymore. Getting that armor and weapon will make the battles following him much easier because it will impact the enemy's stats that much more. I don't think I need to worry about getting an extra shield at the moment. So let's just throw a pair of 8s at it. There we go. I've lost this battle, but I have the shield. Now I'm going to use my 9 of spades here, because spades work with a spiked shield, and if I used that 7, I would no longer have a pair of 7s. This, here we see one of the starting cards that Magnor has, the health potion. Costs 2 hearts to use, but it heals you for 3, so healing does eventually come to you if you can survive until it. I can't think of any other characters who have healing, so Magnor is very much the survival character. So I can kill the bear if I use the queen, or I can kill it if I use the 10. Spade for spiked shield, it's only using 1 card, so 1 damage, shield blocks it, hurts the bear. So, save my better card for later. Okay, now we see some difference in the options. This time, it's not restoring my health that is offered as opposed to leveling, but gaining a piece of equipment. This would give me +1 defense and +1 shield at the start of my turn. That means I can get up to 3 shield per turn. Now there's actually a decision to make here, right? I don't think there's another chance to level up in this scenario. So what I'm going to do is take the level up, because I'm pretty sure I can win this even without the helm. I'll take the level up so we can show off the 3rd level ability for Magnor.
It's all about the gains.
Battle Hardened, +1 offense and max hand size. So I haven't mentioned it, but we draw...
The sun sets in a stone cradle, lighting an orange beacon before giving into night. You follow the last rays to ruins high on the ridge.
Just quickly, we draw back to max hand size every time a turn ends. So at the end of my turn, at the end of the enemy turns. So that's valuable. Getting an extra hand size means I can just have that many more options.
Stones stand like teeth before a yawning cavern. A black robe hovers ominously over a central altar.
Shield at the ready.
Okay, The Cloaked Figure. Deadly Dark's ability. Entities with Deadly Darks deal +1 damage with black cards. Okay, so what have I got? Heart of Ox. Wild one of your cards into a heart until end of turn. That is right, you get wild effects. So, wilding. So, in most cards, a wild card can be anything, right? In this, when you wild something, that means it is both its original value and, or it can be its original state or the new state, rather than just everything. So this wilds any card into a heart. You could get something that says wild a heart into any suit. There is also wild values, which can be things like wild value +1. So if you apply that to this 9, for example, it could be an 8, 9, or 10. So this fight is tricky. It is a 6/6 with a lot of health. Thankfully, I have 3 offense and 3 defense, so it will only be drawing 3 cards instead of 6. Pair of 3s is going to be risky because it's still drawing a few cards. But pairs are unlikely for it to draw, thank goodness. There's an ace. I cannot beat an ace. But I've got... Ooh, it deals an extra damage because of the Deadly Darks. Which I can... So Shield at the Ready is a defense card. That means I can use them while I'm being attacked. So this just takes 1 of any card. The 2 of Hearts will do. Gain 1 shield, draw a card.
I've got more shields where that came from.
Oh, this is lovely. Okay, so I've got two shields. It won't hurt me. I can use this Queen of Spades to deal 1 extra with Spiked Shield. And I now have 3 jabs. I can throw 3 of a kind at this guy. It only draws 3 cards for defense, so it will have to draw 3 of a kind, Jack or better, to defend. Oh, that's lovely. Queen, it would deal 2 damage with that queen, so I don't want to just block with the spade. I would take damage from that, so I'll use the king. And this way I deal damage.
Hold your shield high.
Well, that's nice. I've got a pair of aces. No matter what it does, it can only block, it cannot attack. Excellent.
Branch of the life tree. To what end are you wielded? Why blossom in time of autumn? Can't you feel the breath of coming winter?
The luster fades from the golden thread, and the cloth falls dead in the wind. The mouth of the cave heaves a baleful breath. A faint glow within grows more insistent as your eyes begin to accept the darkness.
And that's the scenario beaten. So at the end of the each scenario, you're given these sorts of cards that show what you've achieved. Here, used 3 of a kind in combat.
Maybe a wee break before the next one.
Rank B for this one because it was slow. It's all about time. And I believe it's specifically strategic time. Strategic time being time spent in battle. So we went slow to talk things over, and that's why it's only a B rank. Now you see on the 3 of a kind card it says plus 10 mana, and on the rank B card it says mana gathered 51. The first time you get each of these cards, you also gain a first time bonus. Each character gets their own card for things like play 3 of a kind. So that nets you extra mana, and mana is used for filling up these tubes. Once it reaches full, you can level up one of your trees of life, or your sprout trees for the characters. You only get to level up 1 per tube. Let's see if... Okay, we're short. The midway point is not a level up, but it does unlock something. It's in it. Well, it said their ability packs. So we'll get to that and show it off, because I'll reach that next battle. So I have the hunter at 5th level. So let's level him up to 6. And here we see we have unlocked a new level 2 trait for him. The Repeater. Plus 1 offense, gain an additional attack whenever when you deal attack damage. It may seem very powerful, that, but you don't draw until you end your turn. So that can... Like, you can just keep attacking until you're satisfied with attacking, I suppose. Yeah, let's go through these in order, I think. Because there is some story to it, so I might as well progress with the story as it goes. And I'll also show off the characters as they would be unlocked.
I am the snake in the owl's nest.
So Shaylin the Rogue. Yeah, ditch this 3.
The mist halts at the mouth of the cave, afraid to enter. A faint orange glow feeds crumbs to your starving eyes. Thunder echoes through the cavern, but there was no storm outside. Strange silhouettes serpentine around stalagmites. Eyeless creatures with crude weapons fleeing from something in the depths. This time, surprise is on your side.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
So we can see with the rogue, she has 2 attack power and 0 defense, compared to the warrior having 1 and 1. So she is much more just attack. attack and attack. So, thankfully, these enemies start surprised, so they don't get a turn in the first round. They still defend, but with 2 attack power, they will only draw 1 card, so long as they have a pair, they're dead. Now, this ability I've drawn, Thieves' Tools, grants wild range +1 to a card in hand until end of turn. So, I have used my attack, but if I use this 4 of diamonds with dual wield, I can gain another attack. I can then Thieves' Tools this 9 to get a pair of 10s. Safe attack from this from dual wield means even if my attack fails, I will not take any damage from it. So if I have a hand something that I want to attack with, but I'm not sure if it'll actually win, then I can use that to actually just hedge the bets.
I will end this.
Sleight of hand is an excellent reaction. Remove a card from the enemy's defense hand. So if I'm attacking with a king and they draw an ace, I can just tell them to ditch that ace. Lovely. Smoke pop bomb is defense only, and that just says stop attacking me. Good to keep a club in hand for that. So I'm going to kill this guy off with single hits. Ace first, because it's a guaranteed win or draw, and king with the safe attack, just in case they draw an ace.
My technique yet improves.
Okay, levels with the rogue. Black cards deal +1 attack damage or +1 defense, and +1 defense for each successful attack until your next turn. So I'm actually going to go with the assassin trait here, because I like dealing more damage.
A blast of sulfur fills the cave with deadly heat. The mouth of the tunnel drips orange as it cools from the passage of something hot enough to walk through stone. You throw yourself into an opening to escape the heat. You plunge through a shaft of smooth stone, cut by squares of light, sliding for minutes before you're ejected into a cavernous hall. Whoever gouged the stone from the mountain's belly left columns standing like ribs. Rivulets of fire flow between the seams in the stone, no thicker than a hair, pulsing into the chamber ahead. Pitiful figures shamble from behind the pillars, perhaps once human, but long ago. The color has been taken from their flesh, and their hands gnawed into permanent grips around weapons with still glowing runes.
Time to strike.
Dwellers with Reanimate. When defeated for the first time, entities with Reanimate can top deck a jack or higher to remain at 1 HP instead. So top deck is just draw 1 card if that's since it says jack or higher, so if that card that they draw is a jack or higher, they survive, but it's only once. Also of note, Assassin says +1 attack damage. That is not my attack stat, it just means a single black card will deal 2 damage. Or like if I used 2 black cards, I would deal 4 damage. Okay, so let's throw the Queen at them. Lovely. And then use the 6 to dual wield the 9. I'm saving the 10 just in case I need it for a smoke bomb. Hey! And we saw there, the black card dealt 2 damage, killed off the Dweller, they are top deck back. They have a pair of 5s. I don't have any pairs. So I am going to use a smoke bomb.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
I've not been doing very well at saving up my abilities, so I'm going to try to take a couple of turns, because I don't remember when the merchant will show up. So I'm going to take my time here and let... Oh, that sucks. I've got nothing I can do, so just
You are not
take
fit
the
to
damage.
fight my shadow.
Let's... You can also just not attack. I'm just going to hold this hand. That's unfortunate. Alright, fine, you can just die. Oh, get top decked. Okay. So... let's throw a pair of 8s at it. It cannot even draw 2 defense cards, so that's my win. So I just delayed there for a couple of extra turns to draw some extra ability cards, just in case the merchant comes up.
Rest the...
So, we can claim the weapon or level up here. This time it doesn't even tell us what the weapon will do.
Wrest the ruined weapons from their clutches and claim them for your own.
But I do know what the weapon does, and I'm taking it.
A nice find.
Gain 1 HP after a successful attack with a spade. Lovely. Especially
In the
for
chamber
her.
beyond dwells a mural of a banquet. From the vantage of a plate at the end of a long table, at the other end, a pair of eyes, like 2 stars in a black sky, attend the feast. Beyond the mural is a statue of a drake with jaws frozen in complaint. There is something in its mouth, encased in glass. A masterwork of articulated brass hovers in a sphere of glass, clasped delicately between the spear-tip points of the drake's teeth. Leave the gauntlet be. Reach out for the gauntlet in the glass.
I'm sure everyone can guess what's going to happen if I go for the gauntlet, right? Let's do it.
The jaw snaps shut, shattering the glass and swallowing the relic. Eyes beam and stones stir as the drake rises from its timeless repose, throwing clouds of dust from wings spread wall to wall.
Okay, the Slate Drake has first strike, so they attack first. They have 8 attack power, so they draw 8 cards to choose from. Ooh, big. They've drawn a pair of 8s. I can beat that with my pair of jacks. Victory.
I will end this.
So, the Ruined Falcon, or Falchion? I don't know how you pronounce that. Heal 1 after a successful attack with a spade is particularly nice for the rogue because she does more with black cards. Unfortunately, I have no black cards right now. It's all bad. Now, I might as well use 1 ability per turn because I will draw them. I think I save that for the dodge though. Okay, I don't need to heal immediately. I'll dual wield that 2 and throw a 7 at it. Unlikely to win, yep, but I won't take any damage. And I don't need to do any reaction to it. It's a safe attack, it's fine. A pair of kings. Oh boy. Yeah, let's try dodge. Top deck, if I win, cancel
Surrender,
combat.
and this will be painless.
Excellent luck on that. Let's attack with the 10 because I have Shank, win a failed attack of a single card. That means I can keep the king for defense. And I'll dual wield the 5 to throw out 9. I'm not doing that as an attempt to deal damage, but as a way to actually just clear out cards in my hand, because that means I get to draw more cards. Pair of 6s. It's only a pair? Yes. I cannot beat a pair of 6s. Even with the wild range +1, the only things I could turn into a pair are 4 and 5. So let's just smoke bomb instead.
Talon's ready.
Jack, sure. Shank it. let's dual wield that 4 so that I can attack with 5 and hopefully... Nope, but I can shake. That'll give me some healing from the Rune Falchion and get me back to full health. Ooh, that's a pair of kings. I've got no defensive options. Get rid of the 8 and the 2. Yep.
Time
Ouch.
to strike.
But now I have a... Do I want to kill it right now? I've only got 4 abilities in hand. Throw... Actually, let's see. If I use the 9 to
My
dual
daggers will sing.
and then throw the 10 out, is this going to be the safe attack? Doesn't matter. I don't want to use any abilities here, and I want to end the turn. Pair of 10s, damn it. I'll just take the damage.
Talon's ready.
Okay, I now have the 5 abilities, because the merchant will be coming up soon. 3 of a kind, there's very low chance of it beating.
The slate drake falls to ruin, and once the dust has settled, a gauntlet glistens in a pale shaft of light.
A useful tool.
The Grip of Power. Remove or costs 1 card to use. It's not a consumable but a usable, so I can use it once per turn. And it overdraws an ability. Overdraw means I can draw even if it goes beyond my hand limit, but I then have to discard down. Void, hello, hello. Yeah, I'm not going to take
I
the
will
Grips of
put
Power. I fought the Drake so that I
Leave the
could level up.
gauntlet.
It hurt a
Deadlier
lot,
yet.
but it's worth it. So, level 2 trait. Top deck a jack or higher to deal double attack damage.
A doorway gleams like a fiery ingot on the far wall. It casts a carpet of orange light into the room, beckoning you forth.
Name the Enderman. For some reason, the only thing I'm thinking of is Gary. I don't know why.
The merchant from the woods sits among his goods in a small antechamber. Before you manage a word, he speaks.
Never mind how I got here. More impressive that you're here, actually. Now, my little branch, about those leaves.
Here's your coin.
Okay. I am very hurt. The healing from the potion could be very useful.
I don't
Defense is
haggle.
probably more useful in the long run.
A narrow footway dares you beyond the door. Lava pumps through arched veins into a sphere in the center of a cyclopean cylinder cut into the heart of the mountain. Somehow, the air is cold. 3 flickers of heatless flame splash from the lava flow and await you on the platform that skirts the orb.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
Okay. This is going to be a tough fight because I've only got 3 health and I have no abilities in hand. Okay, so I can use Shuriken to deal a bit of damage. And because that was a spade and it dealt attack damage, that triggered the Rune Falchion. It also triggered the Assassin effect. Then I am going to send out... Let's use the king for my first attack. Higher value, better safety. And then the 3 of clubs to get a safe attack with this jack. And that's a fail. Unfortunate. Oh, it would have been so nice if that succeeded, because it would have killed. Yep, 8 of clubs beats that, so it does a bit of damage. I cannot beat the ace. So, just bring and beat this card. Jack I can beat with the queen.
Talon's ready.
Okay, I'm going to use the ace to try to kill off... Actually, let's use the king for the knight blade to attack this. It'll hit twice, and it'll total 4 damage, that's lovely. And I successfully top-decked a jack for one of those, doubled the damage and killed it off. And I can use a 2 to dual wield,
Done yet.
use an ace to attack, that Cauldrifier is dead. Also, these guys have life force. Their attack and defense is equal to their health, which can be nasty.
I will end this.
Let's hope this king hits. It does. Okay, Thirsting Fang only works with hearts. I think I can afford to not use it. Doesn't matter, I'm losing that attack anyway.
Time to strike.
Okay, what can I do? Pair of 5s, I think, is the better option here. And I think I do use Thirsting Blade to heal some, because that's because I'm still low on health. So, I could have just used this Restore to heal up.
Forget the sphere. Just close your eyes for a moment and regain your breath.
But it's better whenever I can to level up or gain some long-term bonus, I think.
What eldritch secrets dwell within the orb? Light channels through runic patterns, glowing brighter in your presence.
My technique yet improves.
And level 3, red cards deal +1 combat damage.
A low moan emanates from deep within the orb and reverberates in your chest. You realize that the sphere is a mold, now cracking. The sphere breaks apart in cries of steam. The heat drained from the mountain has been gathered here into one yet hungering form. Eyes gleaming through the mist, it speaks.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
The Nascent Flame has Siphon. They heal equal to the damage they deal with the standard attack. So, if the more they hurt me, the more they heal. It's going to be a pain. Thankfully, I have a 3 of a kind in hand already. That's real nice. Yep, just go ahead and throw those at it. And I think I dual wield with 6 and then don't even attack, just so I can draw something new. pair of 5s I cannot beat. But I can Obsidian Blade to turn this spade into an ace. And now I have a pair of aces.
Time to strike.
Okay, attack with the ace. Dual wield for 3, and attack with the Queen of Hearts. They get a king, but sleight of hand ditches it.
The ligaments of light between the armor dim, and the swirling smoke loses its purpose as the helmet comes to a clattering stop. Ringed eyes fade, beholding you as their final act. Stairs spiral around the center spire, vanishing into a pale blue haze that peers down from high atop the shaft. Hours later, the stairs bring you to a passage filled with a sand of pulverized obsidian. Beyond lies a sea of black dunes beneath a cerulean sky.
And that
Next
is
time,
the second
I'll
scenario.
demand a greater price.
So now we can show off when you get past the halfway point on a vial. We've also filled this one, so that's another level. But when you pass the halfway point, you get a weird coconut. Yeah, that's right. Don't know why it's coconut, it just is. Crack open the coconut, and you get cards. So this is how you build decks for your characters. You get the cards through these level ups. They're completely random as far as I know, and then you just go and put whatever you want into the deck. Okay, so let's move on to the next scenario, and we will be taking Nazim, the mage.
This is the way to discovery.
Now, Nazim is quite
Sky
different.
blue over rippling ebon. The desert whispers a breeze scented of sun-baked stone. The tower on the stark horizon stirs a curious nostalgia. Estranged memories set your feet in motion, and the sand replies with firm footing. A slavering beast greets you at the crest of the first dune. Then the ground erupts behind you.
Okay, so Scorpion gets first strike. It's attacking with a king. I cannot beat a king, but I can use Conjured Cloak, which
I make my
costs
own
2 black
refuge.
cards, gets me a shield, and draws 2 cards. Lovely. I still do have to actually defend, but the 2 cards I drew included an ace. Okay, so Nazim plays differently from the previous 2 characters. Those 2, everything was built around improving their attacks or their defense. Nazim uses up his attacks to gain to score his abilities, and his abilities deal damage. They're the main way that he will fight most of the time. Of course, I can also just...
I cannot attack
I
again.
can't
this
attack
round.
because I've used his hero ability, but I could just attack. I probably should have. Before I can beat with a 6.
I have seen your end.
I'm going to use these cards I've got in hand just to let my abilities build up some. I can't beat a king, so let's
I made
get
my
that
own
conjured
refuge.
shield, conjured cloak, and throw a 5 down there.
Prepare yourself.
Pair of 7s, sure. Eight of spades, I can be.
Grasp. Grasp at the spreading strands of your memory before they're out of reach again.
I've learned a new spell.
So, this man can get +1 max hand size and max ability hand size, or he can get Arcanite. Gain an additional attack, so I'll have 2 attacks per round, +2 offense, and +2 magic damage with diamond, or attack damage with diamonds. Now, I'm pretty sure both of those +2s only apply with diamonds. So, at least I think that's how that works. So with that, he can actually become someone who fights with his actual attacks. I think I'm going to go with Mana Diluvian.
The path to the monolith brings you to a slack between the dunes, where vultures circle. The desert cedes to your steps and welcomes you in. You begin to sink, and the vultures descend.
But yeah, the choice I made for that level up was basically to show off more of his unique playstyle rather than going back to what the previous two had done. So, here we have Quicksand. Top deck a red to escape. 50-50. This leads to 2 separate events. Looks like I'm going down.
Swallowed by sand, you nearly suffocate before spilling into the belly of the desert. Sifted light falls on strewn bones, and something stirs in the deeper darkness.
The stars are in alignment.
The Antlion. Enemies with armor penetration ignore your defense. I have 0 defense, so that doesn't really matter. Alright, let's see, what can I do? I can use the 2 of diamonds to throw the arcane bolt at them. I could use the Jack and Queen to cast Chain Lightning. That would only deal 1 damage to it. It's kind of a waste. It's better in group battles. Instead, I think I use my attack to unearth,
secrets.
and I can use that Jack to cast fire. Pair of Queens. That's rough. I cannot beat that, but I can use Polar Wall to negate it.
Let the
negate
lasers
the
in my
damage.
armor.
I still lose the fight, or the attack, defense, whatever. I still lose to it, but, you know, at least I'm not taking damage.
My power is ancient.
So I am going to actually attack with this pair of queens, because I do want to try and save abilities where possible to exchange with the merchant. Ooh. I've got here my Joker card. That's one of the cards you get from reaching... Well, that's a card you get for reaching a certain leaf level. It can be anything. So it's attacking with a single 8. I will defend with a single king.
The stars are in alignment.
Let us think I just attack with the 3 of a kind and kill it. Like, it should die at least. Yep, there we go. 3 of a kind with aces would be kind of hard to beat. So, I've got no need to rest and heal. So,
Search the strewn bones.
rummaging. We draw a Queen of Spades
I
and
can
get
sense this
the
is treasure.
Shamshir. Spades deal +1 combat damage. So, as far as I've found, when you search for treasure, the equipment you get depends on what you draw. So if you draw a spade, it's something that is affected on spades. If you draw a heart, it's for hearts, and so on.
You crawl through a crumbling tunnel for hours, coming at last to a cul-de-sac of soft sand. After some digging, you sprout under a canopy of stars. A shimmering path slivers over dunes beneath the moonlight, vanishing into the fold where sand and stars join hands. A close inspection confesses a carpet of fine flakes angled to glint in lunar light. This place...
So, the path leads to the Hall of the Dead. I could just ignore it, which I've never done. I assume choosing to leave just moves on to the next event that follows the Hall of the Dead. So why not go?
The point of a pyramid tilts from atop a dune, sinking over the course of an eon. A door, slanted in a snarl, juts from the sands below. A strangely familiar figure in fine clothes offers a limb of square leaves to a king, girdled by gold and jewel. Or is it the other way around? A graveling groan calls your attention to a shifting slate in the middle of the chamber. Sarcophagus means eater of flesh. But this meal has refused the slow digest of time.
My power is ancient.
Fireorn is here. If I had a pair of hearts, I could just use Lion's Mane to murder it. Let's see, what options do I have? That's better to save for a... So Blizzard is better to save for a group battle. Let's throw a pair of 7s at it and see what happens. Okay. Now this enemy is defensive, so I deal 1 less damage on attacks, but the Shamshir meant that using a spade there increased my damage. Yep.
I make my
Use
own
the Conjured
refuge.
Cloak to defend against that. Throw the 2 in there.
I wield a menagerie of elements. A pair of 4s would be pretty risky. I'm going to... I know where to dig.
So I get an extra card, and then Fireball, which kills. So, the Ring of
I can
Fire.
sense the history in this artifact.
This gives a passive +1 to my hand size, and I can also activate it to exchange 1 HP to draw 2 abilities and 2 cards. Or I could just level up.
Stone halls.
Just going to level up.
Wisdom is its own reward.
So, because I have this character at 6 leaves, we have 2 options for the level 2 trait. +1 ability damage, which is my spells, effectively, or +1 defense and +2 maximum health. +1 defense per heart in your hand. Your hearts deal +2 defense damage. That can be real good for tanking. Real good for tanking. If you get a lot of hearts. I'm just going to do more murder.
Up and down you scale the dunes, each time a little lower. Only as the spire sets on the horizon is your slow descent made clear. A peak of bright satin flaps cheerfully in the morning sun as fragrant oils and roasted arabica dance on the wind. But something foul frolics in the young shade, whirling through valuables in the tent until turning towards you.
I have seen your end.
Pair of Jinn. They are diamond seekers. They gain +1 offense per diamond in my hand. Real nasty. So, I can chain lightning and deal 2 and 3 damage. I cannot use Blizzard because I would need an extra spade. That's unfortunate. I can only fit... Okay, I can fit 6 abilities in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, if I were to use this, I would go to 4 and then draw 2. So if I card trick... Yes, wild suit for a card. So I can turn this into a spade. I can then flat... Oh, no, that's gonna... Oh well, well, Flash of Insight I could achieve later, so... I will Blizzard here. 2 damage to everything. That dealt extra to... I'm an idiot.
You, young branch. Be wary of the lamps you rob. Now, you've leaves for me.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot about the +1 ability damage. So I wanted to leave 1 alive there so that I could build back up to like 6 abilities because the merchant is here now. I'll take the arm. Defense is valuable for this character. Offense
The
not so
merchant
much.
points to the horizon.
In gratitude, I'll go against my nature and give you one for free. Walk in the shade of the white tree when the sun is at eventide, but beware the low sands.
A leafless shock of white bolts from the nadir of this giant black basin. The sun has only begun its descent, but it's enough to paint the path of its shadow. Leaning in the shallow shade of the white tree, you feel the sands begin to shake and swell. You scramble away, but a black tide gives chase. Then erupts a mouth to the abyss itself.
I wield the Madre element.
Scale Worm. This thing is giant. Gains +1 defense per card in an enemy's attack hand. Thankfully, I can just throw a full house at it. I'm pretty sure that's a... Yeah, that's a full house. 3 of a kind and a pair.
My lion's roar!
That's a big hit. Hell yeah. Pair of queens I can do nothing about, unfortunately. So, I'm just going to take the 2 damage.
The stars are in alignment.
Throw an ice bolt with the spade, and I have successfully tapped it. So I'm going to save the second ice bolt.
Ancients, lend me your power.
I've got it. I get yet another ice bolt.
Prepare yourself.
So as long as it gets tapped... Oh, damn. so long as the card gets tapped, it doesn't get to attack me. So, I'm just going to keep using Ice Bolts. There we go. The less an enemy gets to attack me, the better. Ooh, Mage Armor. +1 defense, +2 shields when replaced.
Lend me your power.
It's only going to give me +1 defense, but I might as well.
The stars are in alignment.
Nothing I can really do here, so let's unearth an ability. Mage Armor is useless right now. It's getting off an attack with a pair of 7s. Oh, I have no pairs. Well, let's throw those two cards.
Is ancient.
Flash of Insight, yes please. And I believe we have lethal here, because I can just fireball when they're arming.
White
Or
splinters
fireballs.
fleck the black sand between islands of gore, but the tree still stands in your memory. And so you walk in that shadow until the sun sets, and the spire rises before you, a silhouette of absent stars. You arrive at the feet of Titan's ladder. The size of the spire is lost in stars. You can feel yourself pulled upwards by its gravity, teasing forgotten dreams from your dormant past.
Hey, apparently this is the first time I've used 3 of a kind with this character. And also the first time I've used a full house with him.
The magics were on my side.
Now, those two are clearly because I use abilities with this character rather than cards, right? So, not surprising that those are firsts. And that's another level up. Very nice. Alright. Interesting. Okay, Titan's Ladder.
I have overcome the night.
We will take the Hunter. Yeah, let's ditch this too.
1,000 columns reach into the stars above, steps by which giants may climb to the heavens. With what patient hands nature shapes the stone, unseen, but for when their labor aligns with the ken of mankind. Your eyes rise to the sable sea of stars. There, an arrow of smokeless flame streaks to the earth below, growing bright enough to paint the dunes red. It crashes into the desert in a splash of flame and black sand. The light fades, but is not extinguished. Rising, it sails over the dunes towards you. Scramble up the cliff to the lower ledges, where strange silhouettes stand with bent arms. Turn to face the flames.
I haven't tried the climb option before. I've only played this scenario once, but let's try
to face the flames.
Facing the flames.
The fire dives and crests over the waves of sand, closing the divide and appearing with unearthly speed.
I smell blood.
Ifrit. Blazing Presence. At the start of their turn, entities with Blazing Presence deal 1 damage to all opponents. This is a race against time. So, Ravenmeyer, or Ravenmere, whatever it is, he's an interesting one. Now, he can just attack things, of course, but he also has an ability that lets you use 1 card to guarantee 1 damage. And I have in my hand here Seek. When you deal damage to this enemy, deal 3 damage and remove. remove at end of round. So remove meaning remove seek, remove this debuff. So if I throw this onto the Rogue, and then I use this 9 to use Raven's Flight,
I can do this.
that's 4 damage. I can now use Reload, which gain an additional attack and recharge Raven's Flight. And I can use just that again to just kill it.
Leave.
So that went real nicely. If you let that battle drag on, it can be very dangerous. But, hey, that went real well for me. I was very lucky with the starting abilities I had. So I could level up here, but Band of Tamed Flame...
This is an improvement.
Gives me Harm Shield. With Harm Shield, I deal 1 when an attack is launched against me. So, as soon as something tries to attack me, it takes 1 damage.
I'm never out of breath.
The figures on the lower ledges scatter at the sight of your victory over the fallen star. You begin your ascent. A veil of pale light is drawn over the stars, so they may carry on their celestial affairs behind the privacy of the sun. A tumbling rock calls your attention to a beast of hoof and horns standing soundly on sheer stone. With great confidence, it leaps, knocking you to the ledge below.
The ravens are circling.
So, rather rudely, I took a damage from that. If I only had 1 health when I came into this, it would just kill me. That's real rude. But I am fine. Also, this thing has Leaping. It moves ahead of the defender in turn order after a successful attack. So if it hits me, it'll get another attack immediately, but only the once for this battle. I think I want to save the ace for defense, so I'm just going to use this Pathetic 2 for a Raven's Flight. Oh my god! Wow, it drew 3 of a kind on the aces. There is no way I can respond to that. And there's a single ace I can defend with an ace.
This will be your grave.
Let's see. So, one of the other quirks for Ravenmere is summons. You can have 1 summon active and they stay for the encounter or until they say otherwise. This summon gives me 1 extra defense and safe attack, so I can attack it and the enemy and not risk retaliation. But it only lasts for this 1 battle. I think I do want to toss it out there. Let's put that behind me there. And I have safe attack now, so I could use the ace. Or I can just use a queen.
I have you now.
It's going to do 1 damage if I succeed with a single card. Why risk anything, right?
I invite you to run.
Okay, lovely. I can now get, because I've got 2 spades, Second Wind. This will be a buff for the entire scenario. Gain an additional attack per turn, +2 offense with single card attacks. That's right. But of course I'm just going to use Raven's Flight to kill this thing. Now that hurt a fair bit, but I also do want to
The
level.
Capra falls to the earth like a common stone, losing a horn to a rugged white root as it clatters to the sand below. Claim the horn for your collection.
Yep.
I must become stronger than the darkness.
Level 1 traits. You deal +1 combat damage with a single card. That includes the ability. Or deal double combat damage to a non-adjacent target if your combat hand contains a spade. So, in group battles, you can hit the back enemies for more damage. But I'm taking Fellfeather bolts here.
Clamour of caws and cackles wavers on the breeze as a fuss of black feathers flaps in from the sun.
The hunt is on.
Harpies. Okay, so I can now deal 2 damage with a single attack, with a single card rather. What I'm going to do is I've got 2 attacks as well, so I'm going to use the 3 of diamonds here for guaranteed hit, and then the Ace of Hearts for a very likely kill. And yeah, I'll throw the East Powder Star. I will throw that out there.
You may advance.
And something attacks me across that, it's going to take 4 damage, and then the summon will disappear. Oh, pair of jacks. I cannot defend against. That is unfortunate.
I smell.
So at this point I want to start trying to save abilities because I believe the merchant is coming up soon. But I could also just kill it.
In the crosshairs.
The briskness of morning flees on the wind, leaving the stagnant heat of the day. The stone warms and will soon grow hot. You race the rising sun into the sky. By midday, your hands smell of roasted meat. In your haste for shade, you find the merchant waiting in the shallows of a cave.
Quite the climb. Dropped my potions on the way up. But worry not. Even this high, my prices remain low.
Okay, so I only have 3 abilities with me right now. But with this character, offense isn't the biggest deal, because I'm not actually attacking too often. I tend to use my ability more. I could use the armor to get more defense, or I could take the boomerang. Gain an additional attack after successful standard attacks. So if I actually do attack with this character, I can get more out of it. And that, of note, that is standard attacks, so not abilities. I think I'm going to take the armor though.
I have need of this.
The enemies are smacking me around. I really should just try to be a bit better on defense. And again, we're given a split path.
The heat
the first
and
time I
brightness of
played,
the day outside makes the darkness of the cave look inviting.
so the last time I played this, I went with just venturing into the cave right away. This time, let's wait and see what happens.
Noon passes, and the sun sets its glare on the other side of the spire. The dark stone is slow to cool, but you're eager to climb. Truth must await on the summit, for one false step would be fatal. 2 eyes rise from the separate stalks of stone above. and heavy rocks rain down around the ledge below.
Oh. Cancel enemy safe attack. I need to use 2 hearts to do that.
This will be your grave.
Okay, so just as a note, apparently choosing the wait option there just completely skipped what was in that cave. Kind of sad, but oh well. Let's use this right away. I have the 2 hearts. Yep, get it done. So, now of note, I do have a pair of aces. I could attack with those. They're only going to deal 2 damage. A Raven's Flight would deal 2 damage. Actually, that can deal the damage for 9. And then I can use the pair of aces to attack again. A single ace would have dealt 2 damage as well, but it would have been a bit riskier. Like, the chances of the enemy drawing an ace are higher than drawing 2. I think... Oh, okay, that's a kill. So let's go. Ow. Okay. I will block with this 6. Sure. These pairs aren't that
Hunt is on.
Smoke screen, get me some extra defense. And then Raven's Flight and throw a 10 at it. I can't beat a queen. I'm going down to 1 health.
I invite you to run.
I will absolutely draw that smoke screen back to my hand, so I'll be able to use it in the next battle. I only have 1 health.
A few shallow breaths after such a steep fight.
I think it's time that I restore.
I've come back from worse.
I wish I could level up, because I'm still only level
grows
1.
distant as the air thins. The heat on the horizon turns shapes to water, and the mass of a mountain drips into the sky, flying on wings of wavering shadow.
But yeah, so I'm still only level 1. Level 3 is the maximum, but I'm only level 1, and we've been through a few fights now. This is bad.
This will be your grave.
Okay, a rock is attacking. Flying. So they suffer -1 combat damage from cards with a value of 9 or lower in standard combat. So I've got options for which summon I want. I can only have 1 summon, but I could get Fenrir, +1 combat damage to enemies adjacent to Fenrir, or the Smokescreen. That's a basic Smokescreen, which only gives me safe attack. I can't get the +1 Smokescreen out. Let's get Fenrir.
I'm not through with you yet.
And yeah, Raven's Flight. That 8. That was not standard combat, so the flying didn't trigger. And Fenrir also added 1, so that's 3. I'll use a king to attack. Heck yeah. Of note, the rock just then had a pair of 2s in its defense hand. A pair of 2s is a better hand than a single king, right? That's poker rules. But when you're defending, you use the same number of cards as the attacker. I only know of 1 exception to this. Pair of queens. I can't win this defense at all. So let's just throw some trash cards out there.
I invite you to run.
Okay. Let's Raven's Flight for 5, guaranteed damage. And throw a pair of 10s at it. Very good.
The sun gives way to stars as you climb beyond the realm of clouds, where white roots reach from the rock to offer you a hand into the heavens.
So, of note, that rock just died because of the flame barrier ring, whatever it's called. So that is why I like that ring. It will kill the thing before it gets to attack me, so long as it's down to 1 health.
The following dawn, you arrive at the pinnacle, and there, in a graceful dome of glass and ivory, sits a sylphid in white robes before a white tree, no taller than her seated form. Her eyes are as windows to the blue sky beyond. They watch without blinking as you approach. She plucks the button of a mushroom growing beside the tree and begins to chew it. Her ruby lips press into a pout and gently blow. Fragrant breath strokes your cheek, and you are blown off the cliff. Your mind enters a freefall through feverish visions. A man with stars for skin sits in the shade of a large old tree, catching apples as they fall. And having had his fill of fruit, he gives them freely to famished wanderers, one and all. But word travels, and a single fruit does not sate for long. And soon a line coils around the hill of the old tree. The hungry won't settle for song. And in the shadow, the man smiles. A meal made easy is no charity. It does not last. It is a shackle locked by life's own will. How eagerly it is taken to wrist. If only it can be steadfast. Power is the fallen apple, acquired easily. It substitutes one's ability to climb. Its absence leaves one weaker than when accepted, and its presence only makes one hunger for more. It is a gift given which takes everything. With those words echoing in your mind, your vision races over the horizon to a shimmering city by the sea. At its port is a ship flying a silver sail from a black mast. Further still, over the ocean, your sight soars to the shores of a shrouded isle. You linger, watching the heavy mist crown a rim of mountains, veiling what lies beyond. Suddenly, you're wrenched backwards, streaking over water and land to rejoin your body as it's softly set upon the sand. Only now, reawakening at the feet of Titan's ladder, do you come to miss the shrouded isle as home.
And that is as far as I have played.
The hunt is over. For now.
So that's the story up until this point. It's as much as I know. We have an hour left on the stream. We've gone through 2 hours. We're still going to be playing for another hour. So I'm going to try the next scenario, the one I've never played before. And what we're going to do is take in the remaining character who I haven't shown off. Layla
This
the
can only
Enchantress.
end one of two ways.
Layla is a fun option.
The red and gold roofs of Falcara shimmer like the waves in the bay they embrace. Cobbled streets, woven in ivy, bear you swiftly to a busy port. A crowd of all creeds clamour in the sun-drenched dock. Still, you stand out. Making your way towards the ships, you pass sailors stooped in soups and spirits, slinging unsavory words like lengths of rope. A swarthy man with hawkish eyes the color of a shallow sea sits in the shade of a silver sail hung from a black mast. He watches as two rogues move to extort the wayward foreigner on the wharf.
You think you're the cock of the dock, do you?
So, Layla's a fun one because she can mess with the value of cards quite a lot. Her ability is wild range +1 for a card until end of turn. And that's any card. It can apply to enemy cards as well. And I can force the change. So if I were to apply that to one of these 6s, I could say this 6 is now a 5. And the enemy would have no choice. Of course, a pair of 6s, I have the cards to beat, so I'm just going to beat it.
I'll have that purse.
And they're now throwing a jack at me. I can beat the jack, the queen.
My wish is your command.
Now, just for guarantees, let's turn
Time
this
to give
queen
fate a hand.
into a king.
How
And
about
hope. Yep, there we go. Attack succeeds.
You'd best...
Took no damage. No need to restore. So,
You'd best help yourself to the pirate's loot to get into the spirit of things.
I'm leveling up.
I didn't think it was possible to improve.
Level 1 traits. Layla can have +1 max hand size, and you may view the top card, the card on top of all decks. I don't actually know how to tell which card is the top card because it doesn't just show it. Like, it doesn't. So I would have to click on the deck and that will show all the cards in the deck. And then I have to work out which one's the top one because it's going to be either the leftmost or the rightmost, and I don't know which it is. The alternative is Radiance. Deal +1 combat damage with multi-card hands. Draw an ability when successful with multi-card hands of a single suit. So, unlike the Hunter that we just played, who specialised in single card attacks, Layla the Enchantress does better with multi-card hands.
The tarot told me it's my fate to ferry ye to the Shrouded Isle, but I figured if ye couldn't handle a brace of Picaroons, there may be time yet to get back me coin. Sure as the lines on me palm, no such luck. Now, since ye can't pay a man enough to sail west o'er the Sea of Nod, I suppose I'll have to do it for free. Come aboard, and we'll hoist the anchor and set sail.
A week west of Falcara, the water is placid with just enough clouds to keep the sun a welcome sight.
The sea's calm now, but just wait. I've sailed as far as mast-high swells. I say the first wall of the Shrouded Isle be waves tall enough to lick the clouds. Be a mate, fetch me a cask from the hold.
Pleads the pirate. You encounter a pack of ravenous rats in the lower deck. They abandon gnawed coils of rope in favor of fresh meat.
Now it's my turn.
Elusive, harmless defense. So, elusive, they do not suffer damage from multi-target abilities, that's fine. and harmless defense. Successful defenses by them deal no damage. Okay, cool. So that can just deal 3 damage to something. That's lovely. Hold on to that. What am I going to throw? I think a pair of jacks will do. I want to save this Joker. Success, barely. That was close. Let's see. Do I want to... I'm not sure I want to use the Red Queen to just kill something here. Otherwise, I'd have to be holding on to the Joker for it. Sure, screw it. Ooh. Okay. I can either Glamour to cancel this combat, or I can... Okay, so if I were to Shimmer and bring the Ace's value down by 2, the enemy would just start using the King. So it would not matter. So Glamour it is.
You
Do
must
not
be
hurt me,
punished.
Pair of 9s. So long as they don't beat that, they're dead. Lovely.
You return topside to the golden wrought checkers of the captain's smile.
If I'm to sail to me doom, least I can ask for is not to go down with a ship full of rats. Well, that and me cask.
Give the captain his cask to curry his favor.
Even I can get better.
So, this is the exception to a rule I was talking about before. Mirage as a level 2 trait. You can defend against attacks of less cards with valid hands of a larger size. So, that does not mean I can just use 1 card to defend against a pair if I'm going to fail, but if an enemy has an ace and I have a pair of 2s, my pair of 2s will win. The alternative is Ring of Clarity. After a successful standard attack, your next ability is free to cast until your next turn. I think Mirage is just more valuable to me.
Oh, hear that? Take the rope the rats left and fasten yourself to the mast. This be the lure of the singing stones. But no sea hag song is going to tame this dog's salty heart.
A strange song surfs the waves, calling to mind the slope of fetching curves wrapped in green sequins. The boat lurches towards the rocks, and you loose yourself from your hempen tethers. It's the choir. It's the choir which holds the rudder now. Only their silence can steer the ship from its collision course. The old salt hums something odd about cod, and mumbles about the buttery white meat of fishtails.
So, I've got a choice here, and I don't know where the two will lead.
It's the choir which...
Let's fight the
You bound off
silence.
the boat onto the rocks, drawn weapons making clear you come not in love.
Siren Song. Top deck at the start of your turn. You lose an attack if you draw a heart. Oof.
My wish is your command.
Oof. Well, that's unfortunate, but I've drawn a very nice buff that I can have. Pairs deal +1 combat damage with that, and I can't do anything because I lost my attack. Pair of queens. Okay, I can. Yeah, I can't make anything that beats or matches a pair of queens.
I'll tell you when
but
you've
I can
won.
turn one of these queens into a jack. So that siren is now using a single ace, and I can match the ace. A pair of 10s. I cannot match or beat. So let's just throw a 3 and a 5 out there, take the 2 damage. And now a pair of 9s. Good God! These sirens are very painful.
Charmed, I'm sure.
They all drew good pairs then. Okay. Throw a pair of queens out. So long as I... No.
Just a little nudge.
That is not an ace, that is a king. You don't have a pair here. I'm no longer about to fail. It's end reaction. Reacting to the change of values. One down. Oh, okay. So their charming effect adds my offense to theirs when they attack. Which, you know, I have 0 offense, so that's fine. But good God, the creature in the water below the rocks is horrifying. Let's see, I am quite hurt, so I will rebalance. Pair of 3s. I could use the pair of aces, but I kind of want to save it. Instead, I can use Shimmer
I
on
wheel
this
the mirage
9 to become a pair of 10s. And a single ace. I can beat with a pair of aces. But the question is, do I want to beat it? I'm only going to have one ability if I win right now, and the merchant could be anywhere. Screw it, let's just worry less about the merchant, more about winning.
Beautiful!
The Siren Scale Arrow. Tap an enemy when you successfully attack with the heart. That's amazing.
You fish the good captain out of the water he'd willingly entered during the battle. After another attempted dive, you tie him to the mizzen in hopes his heart will mend by the time he dries. You take to the spokes of the helm. True to legend, the waves roll like hills beyond the singing stones. The rise and fall of the ship is hard on the legs and harder on the stomach. You clutch the gunwale, looking for a place to be sick, when you spot a dinghy 1 wave short of driftwood. A man in a barrel flies a sheet from a branch still clad with leaves.
And there's the merchant.
She's welcoming you!
Shouts the merchant as he climbs aboard.
Of the sea, I mean. Gentler than usual. Now, shall we deal? I'll not be caught sailing without a sail.
Well, I can't afford the weapon or the armor. I might as well take the
I love
potion.
shopping!
A heal for 3 is valuable. It could
The
save
waves
me.
grow worse ahead, and the sky's no better. You'll need your legs beneath you.
He says, tossing you a vial and falling overboard into the barrel. You swig of the elixir and funnel the rest into the captain's cracked lips.
Oh, that was a real clap of thunder to the old hat stand.
Groans the captain, replacing his tricorn.
Now, what say we steer round the squall shading the horizon?
Now I'm ready for more adventure.
A heal as well.
A crack of lightning splits the clouds as the storm wreathes the sky.
He's coming on too fast.
The ship is nearly torn to planks as a titanic wave hurls you into the realm of thunder before dropping you to the ocean floor. The captain wrestles with the rudder when a sudden stop sends you from stern to bow. The reflection of a sky pained by lightning glistens across a colossal eye.
Kraken!
Storm. At the start of your turn, each entity must top deck. They suffer 1 damage if they draw a diamond.
You must be punished.
Okay, so powerful attack. Deals +1 damage. Guard, so I can only attack the left tentacle. And the main Kraken is giant, so its defense increases by my hand size. Okay, now I've only got 1 attack per turn, so I'm going to use my fate
I'll tell you when you've won.
to get a pair of aces. Throw them at that tentacle. My alternative there was turn this 3 into a 2, so I would have 3 of a kind. I want it to be a bit... okay, that sucks. Cancel combat and tap the enemy combatant, draw a card. What do I want to use here? I'll use the 2 and 3. Pair of 6s I cannot beat. So 2 and 3 again. Oh, that 3 of a kind. Ooh. Oh, that's painful. Ow. And just a 10, so guard tentacle is down to
Charmed, I'm sure.
I have a pair of 5s that can kill the right tentacle. Yes, okay. Okay. I'm going to throw the charm at this Kraken. If it works, which it did, it's down to 1 health now. Do I... yeah, I'm going to use the refreshment here. Heals me to full. It's guaranteeing I survive here. An ace. I've got nothing, so I'll just throw a 2 at it.
Now it's my turn.
Now, just for fun, I don't know if this is going to be the last battle, so I'm going to go with 3 of a kind. If I knew this was the last battle, I would absolutely claim that 6 souls 4 of a kind. But I don't know that, so
The
I'm going to play
storm
it safe.
subsides as the tentacles sink into the deep, almost as if the lightning had been conducted by their will. Another soaring wave pushes the ship skyward, briefly beyond the clouds. Help the captain navigate to calmer waters by manning the rigging. A sailor's job is never done.
I don't think I need to heal. I'm at 6.
Help the
so level up.
Wiser and not a day older.
And the fact that I'm leveling up, I'm able to level up here, means that wasn't the last fight. So, level 3 trait. After a standard attack of 3 or more cards, gain an additional attack, and redraw all but 1 attack cards. So if I attack...
On the other side of the mountainous waves lies a stretch of absolute serenity, where stars waltz on the rippling glass of a placid sea.
And just to finish that thought, if I attack with 3 cards, I will draw 2 after the combat.
Exhausted from the voyage, you sprawl on the deck. At the edge of sleep, you watch the stars slide in the sky and drift down before your weary eyes.
What in the name of all that's wet is that?
I am as the desert breeze.
Leviathan. I guess Celestial Leviathan. Spell ward, -1 damage from abilities. Diamond Seeker, more attack power for each diamond in my hand, and Falling Stars. Summon an Astra when brought under 11 HP, and again when brought under 6. Ooh. Okay. Is there anything I can do with abilities here? Not really. So let's just throw a pair of 10s at it. Why is it tapped? Oh, the Siren Scale Arrow. Yes. Using a heart taps it. Lovely.
You must be punished.
Okay. How much nonsense can I achieve here? So, if I use Fate Weaving on this 7, I can have a pair of 8s, and then I can use Clone on this 8, because that clone's a club, so I can have 3 8s. That would mean I've got enough for 4 damage, and I will draw 2 cards afterwards. I'm going to go for it.
Fate a hand.
Some real nonsense there. Astra, 3 health. Guard. I don't have any pairs. Can I? Oh, if I had succeeded there, it would have just died. That would have been amazing. Oh, that's sad. A pair of 7s. I would like to cancel. Thank you.
You
Goodbye.
must be punished.
Guard is just... yeah, okay, so that can still attack. Yeah, pair of kings should be enough. I could get a 3 of a kind of kings here if I turned this ace into a king. But I think a pair is enough. Yes, okay. And nothing else I can do. Pair of kings, but I can fate weave
Fate
one of
is
their
what
kings
I make it.
into a queen. Oh, so they're using a pair of 2s now, but I can use a pair of 9s.
I am as the desert
I
breeze.
thought that they were going to use just a king, so I was going to be able to use an ace. I was fortunate to still be able to win. Let's see. It will let me replace as many cards as I want, so let's replace the queen as well.
By the ebbing tide.
Okay. Use Fate Weaving on this 7.
You cannot
so
trust
that I've
your
got
eyes.
3 of a kind with 6s. That succeeds. Celerity will give me another attack and redraw some of the cards. I can now do a pair of aces and hope. And that's victory.
Day breaks, and you're loath to look upon the horizon for what fresh terror might hang there. But at last, you see it. Clouds crowning a bowl of bright mountains dressed in green and blue.
True to the cards, I brought ye to the shore of the Shrouded Isle. But Tarot never said anything about making it back. Time to draw me own fate, and for you as well, mate. If half the things legends say about this place are true, it's twice the trouble of the sea.
First completion of this. So the first time you beat a scenario with each character, you get a nice boost to mana so that you can unlock stuff and level up. 3 of a kind.
That took entirely
and
too
rank
long.
B. So that was a new scenario that I've never played before. That's very much excitement. And with that, we've also seen all of the characters available. So that it's unlocked the next scenario, Blue Veld, but I'm going to try. So spring is this set of scenarios, and after you beat the first couple of them, you unlock first Infernal Spiral and then War of the Branches. I don't know what these are, so before we do that, like we're going to try Infernal Spiral, see what that is. But first, let's try leveling someone up. So we've got Hunter, Enchantress, and Mage all at 6th leaf. I've got 5, so I can bring another of these two up to 5. And up to 6, rather, and one of them up to 5. Let's bring the Rogue to 6. So she'll have her second option for level 2. Draw an ability when you rest. Add a Joker to your deck. And Sharpening. +1 to the value of cards you play in combat. Win all ties. That's amazing! Oh my god. Oh my god, that's cool. And we'll bring the Warrior to level 5 as well. Gets a Joker into his deck, that's nice. Okay, so since we just got the Rogue to level 6, let's go for another Rogue.
What is the mark?
See what Infernal Spiral is. Let's ditch this too. Ooh, what the? Oh my god. Oh my god. What? There's a whole map here. Gift of... I assume I start here, Gift of Cardrassil, and then choose a path all the way along until this boss, Escudon of Fire and Ice? What? What? So there are 4 bosses. This is amazing. Oh my god. What are all these symbols? Encounter, overdraw abilities, add an ability to your deck, gain max health, consumable, reduce card cost of an ability in your deck, remove an ability from your deck, group encounter, event, card shrine, elite group encounter, level up, short rest, merchant. Good god. Rest, armor. So there's short rests and there's rests. Add a buff to your deck. Oh my god, there's so much here. I guess let's just see as we go. Oh! Okay, so these are single-use consumables. Seed of Death. Deal 10 damage to an enemy. Negate the target's traits until your next turn. Cannot be resisted. Seed of Life. When you are about to be defeated, heal 10 HP. Seed of Destruction. Deal 5 damage to all enemies. Negate all enemy traits until your next turn. Wow, okay. Let's go for the Seed of Life. And into the first encounter.
Talon's ready.
Gelodite. Sapping, so this enemy heals. Nope. If they attack me, I must discard an ability. And Wolpertinger? What? Oh my god. It's leaping and gets ahead of me in attack order if it succeeds in an attack. Okay, wow. I've never seen these things before. Let's just throw a king at this guy. And
my daggers will sing.
Hopefully get rid of it? No, okay. Well, I can just shake it. Pair of aces I cannot beat. So I'm going to have to discard After Image. That's fine. Nothing I draw from using After Image would save me that, but I mean I might as well use it, so I've got a pair of 10s in my hand now. And just...
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Kill? Yes, okay. Okay. So now we have to work things out. I think I take this bottom path to see what... Okay, reducing the cost of an ability would be good. Adding an ability could be good. We'll see what the event is. We'll see what the card shrines are. And we'll also go for the elite encounter, I think. So that's one maximum health. Real quick, let's look at my ability deck. That's my discards. This one is the abilities. No. Oh, I only have 10 abilities to... This gives me its own starting deck. Okay. None of these are great. So I kind of do... let's check the costs. Yeah, reducing the cost of Speed of Shadow isn't that amazing. So I think I am going to want to add an ability card. Assuming I win this encounter.
Ready.
I should, considering it's this little weakling here. But do I want to attack again? I don't know if I do. Yeah, I think I hold on to this as defense. And I have a pair of aces without using my joker. Okay, add an ability. Alright, it gives me a choice of 3. So, Envenom, reaction debuff. Apply after you deal attack damage. Target suffers 1 damage at the start of their turn. Prevent healing. Interesting. Throw dirt, cannot attack non-adjacent targets. So in a group battle, I can throw that on a backline enemy, and they're just negated until they get next to me. That's pretty cool. Smoke Bomb just flat out cancels an incoming attack. I like Smoke Bomb. Yeah, let's go for Smoke Bomb. Event. What is the event? Select one of the cards. Refuse Invernus's offering at the price of your own power. Lose up to 3 HP, cannot be reduced to 0, or gain Brass Rot. You and all enemies suffer 1 damage at the start of your turn if you're at max ability hand size. That's interesting. I don't know. There's no getting rid of Brass Rot, so that's just permanent. I think I deny. I take the 3 damage there, but it's fine. Let's find out what a card shrine is. Oh, okay. Create a permanent additional copy of a card in your hand. I have my Joker in hand. That could be amazing. Mulligan any number of cards in your hand. Discarded cards are removed from your deck. I've only got good cards in hand right now. Wild Range +1 for 2 cards in hand. Wild Suit for 2 cards in hand. I think I copied my Joker. And I'll discard the jetpack.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Oh, that's rough. They have Harm Shield. So I think I'm dead. Unless I get abilities that kill them. And I don't have any of those. Okay, I don't have any abilities that deal damage. If I attack this, I take 1 damage. Even if I kill each of them in a single hit, I'm dead. Well, that was fun while it lasted. Screw it, for fun, let's go with a full house. Like, I could 4 of a kind or I could full house. It makes no difference. I'm dead anyway.
I have you now!
Oh. I can deal damage through defending.
This will be painless.
That is how I survive. I don't attack and purely block.
I will end this.
Okay. A 9 I can beat with a queen. Oh, that was lucky. Card shrine. Let's mulligan 2s. Remove those from my deck. And we are going for the elite.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Wild a spade into an ace. I could use that twice and turn both of these into a pair of aces, but I don't think... Like, I've got nothing that would do an extra damage from that. I need a 3 of a kind, which I can't achieve. The best I can achieve is a pair of
This will be the
nines.
key.
And then I can can do
I'm not through.
a 7 and hope that hits. I have safe attack. It does. One enemy down. They are surprised, so they don't get the first round of attacks. Pair of kings. It's 2 damage.
Second bang.
Jack. Okay, only 1 enemy left. It does have 5 attack power. A pair of jacks. Obsidian blade this to make an ace. Now I have a pair of aces. Oh.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
Queen. These just don't get. Yes. Okay. Okay, I could go for the merchant. I'll have 5 abilities in hand. Or I can level up and ignore the merchant. Okay, if I level up, I can come this way and hopefully reach the rest, which will get me to full health again, I think. I hope. If I go this way through the merchant, 2 encounters, and then an elite before the rest rather than 1. Let's level up.
No technique is forbidden.
And honestly, I'll take Brigand. I need more defense.
Talon's ready.
What can I do here? Thieves' tools, 5 into
This
6.
will be the key.
Pair of 6s, hopefully kill. Yes. And then
I'm not done yet.
Queen. Smoke bomb.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
That thing almost killed me. Okay, I need to go this way if I'm going to heal. Yeah. Add an ability. Yeah, I'll take sleight of hand.
I will end this.
Okay. Big fight for the elite. Draw 2 abilities and 2 cards. Overdraw 2 cards from the top of your discard pile. Turn a spade into an ace. Let's throw the 10 at this front one. And then throw the 9 at it. 1 down. I think I don't need to use any abilities. 5 beats a 4. And I can Obsidian Blade this 6 into an ace to beat that.
Time to strike.
Pair of 7s, they can't draw pairs, so that's guaranteed. And then dual
I'm not through.
10 has the safe attack. Okay. Elite defeated. I don't gain anything for fighting an elite. That's important to know. And I
A
definitely
brief
want to
rest
rest.
is all I require.
I am off death's door. Oh boy.
I will end this.
So, this thing nullifies hearts. Hearts cannot be affected by non-hero abilities activated by using Heart. Okay. And its attack and defense are based on its health. This one is a healer. Restore 1 HP to all to their allies at the start of the turn. Okay. Oh dear. Speed of Shadow. Get 2 new cards. I can Obsidian Blade. So I can either throw a pair of queens, or I could Obsidian Blade and throw a pair of aces. Do I have any other options? I could get like a 2 and an 8, I don't need those. Actually... I could get a straight, hang on. So, I can keep 5, so if I ditch the 2 and the queen, this can become a jack, and that's a straight. Okay, sure. Ditch the 2, ditch the queen, and then all of these are a straight. Yep, hit that one hard, bring its attack and attack down low. It will heal for 1, but I'm hoping to deal 2 damage next round. That's an ace. I can just ditch your ace. You get no card. And Jack, I'm only going to draw the Jack.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
That means I've got a pair of aces. I can beat the fire one. Okay, 1 down. And you'll
my daggers will sing.
Just tweaking it a little. Nope. I don't need to shake it for that. Pair of 5s. Just
vanish, surrender, and this will be painless.
Thieves' Tools Jack.
This will be the key.
I can now have 3 of a kind with 10s. And I might as well attack this king as well. It's a safe attack. Every damage counts. And the healer does not heal itself. That's nice. Okay, pair of queens I can throw at it.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Okay, I don't really have any options, so I'll throw a jack at it. I can shank to say that I actually won. And then Jill and throw this 9. Hope. Nope. Ace, I can Obsidian Blade. I should have gone with the 6, but whatever.
Time to strike.
Kill it, please. There we go. 1 boss defeated. Do I want a buff or an equipment? Ooh. Probably the equipment.
Nice. A bonus.
Negate an attack. Defense only, once per round. It's a club and a black card. Interesting. Also
I feel sharper.
Yes, very much sharpening. That's amazing. So where do I want to go? I don't gain any benefit in particular for fighting an elite battle. upgrade an ability, heal, remove an ability, add abilities. Remove up to 5 abilities. Oof. Trinket, merchant. I feel like I want to get to here and see what the trinket is. Trinket is... I don't know what a trinket is. So that means I've got to be here. I can come from either of these directions. Alright, let's go through here and through this event. I'll have to fight an extra elite, but I think that's alright.
I will end this.
But did I have to fight an extra elite? Yes, over going around to the right here. That's fine. Okay. Defensive Spade Ward. -1 combat damage from spades. Oh, that's rude. I guess I just throw an 8 at it. No, it's got defensive. Okay, speed of shadow. That's still a spade, so it's going to take 0 damage if I do that. This is problematic. Okay, I can Thieves' Tools the 7.
This will be the key.
And that's a club, so I've now got 1 damage I can deal to it. Spade Ward is going to be interesting. I can use an haste to do that.
Talon's ready.
After him, sure. Ditch the spades. They're useless. Can't do anything. Literally nothing. A pair of threes. If I Thieves' Tools to... It's in my hand. Damn. So I can't get... So I'd get an 8 and a 6. Yeah, but I cannot win this defense, so just take it.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
I still can't do anything. I have to have a pair or better to actually deal any damage. Oh, I could have used Obsidian Blade to have a pair of aces. It's very good at getting pairs as well, good god. Yeah, please stop having a pair.
Time to strike.
Now, I could have just used a queen, had a tie and dealt the damage, but now I have a pair of queens, so I can deal a bit of damage with that. Can't do anything else. King, I beat with ace.
I will end this.
Second bang.
Wield the 3 just to get it out of my hand. Honestly, I think I throw the 4 at it as well. That I'm going to use Shank to prevent damage. Wait, I dual wielded, so that was a safe attack. I'm done. Maybe this one's a safe attack instead. Nope. The first attack was the safe one. ace. Obsidian blade, this 9 into an ace so that I can...
Talon's ready.
That. Oh, and of course Spade Ward means I don't deal any damage even if it's a defense that I get that on. Thieves' Tools.
This
9.
will be the key.
Pair of 10s. Oh my god. This single Yeti is probably going to kill me here. I can't even hurt it, so why bother? Pair of kings. I win barely. Oh my god. Let's add an ability. After a successful defense, your next successful attack against attacker deals double damage. Yeah, let's go for that. Group encounter.
Time to strike.
Pack of harpies. Okay. Now, it's 9 or lower deals -1 damage. So, I'm going to have to use 10 and above to actually deal damage to them. Throw that at it. Okay, that's a success. Even if I throw this at it, it can't deal any damage. So, no hurt. Get rid of that there. 8 I can beat with 10. Sure, I will create an opening on that. And I can after image get back my 10. Ditch that 3. 10 times.
Talon's ready.
I can't deal damage to it because I've got nothing that's higher than a 9. Unless I turn this 8 into an ace and use that. Yeah, because even if I use a 9, that'll still be negated. 8 is beaten by 9, but you take no damage anyway, so I might as well just tie it. Might as well tie it anyway. Queen finally deals some damage.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Get out of here. I only need 10s and higher. Queen, ace. Pair of kings. Ow. I can't beat that. Trying to save
Time
the
to
ace.
strike.
Ace here for the kill. And then I dual wield the
I'm
7.
not done yet.
Speed of shadow with that, and goes to use the jack. Okay, we're down to 1 health again. I'm going to stick to the plan. Go to the event.
A
Discard all
useful
abilities
tool.
to gain +1 ability hand size.
I
Sure.
can.
Why not? I'm going to die anyway. Oh, great.
Talon's ready.
Great, it's a Sirens. Charming and Mimic. So they add my offense to theirs, that's awful. And Mimic, they gain offense equal to the player's offense and defense equal to the player's defense. Oh my god, so they gain double my offense. I think I die here. I could dual wield and throw an 8 out there. Or I can hope I survive and draw a 4-9. No,
Second bang.
4-9 would have been enough for a straight shot. Also, I would have had to defend against 4 attacks. My hand would be completely reshuffled anyway. Obsidian Blade, 6 turns into an ace. Pair of aces. And I die. But I have the Seed of Life. So I do survive. Barely. Pair of 5s I can beat. And a pair of jacks I can beat.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
Okay. Throw a jack at this one, hope it works. It doesn't. Oh, that sucks.
My daggers will sing.
I've got safe attack this time, so just throw a 7. Nope. Really hoped I could just kill it. Pair of aces, smoke bomb, get rid of that. A pair of kings. I can't do anything about that. A pair of 8s. I can Tarnicap. And a pair of 9s. I can't beat.
I will end this.
Ah, these sirens are going to murderize me horribly. Okay, pair of aces, get rid of this one.
Second bang.
Dual-wield jack, please get rid of this one. Nope. I can slide a pin. Okay. Pair of 7s, can barely beat. Single king I cannot beat, but I can Tarnicap.
Time to strike.
Oh dear. Thieves' tools this
This
10,
will
get a
be the
pair of
key.
jacks. Throw the 6 at it, save the ace for defense. I would have won that draw, but whatever. Pair of 9s, just cancel your attack. Thank you.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Okay, ace. It's a draw, but I win draws. Dual wield king.
Through.
Okay, we survive. Barely. Do I have any... Oops. Do I have any abilities that I actually want to reduce the cost of? Not really. So let's add a new ability to the deck. Contract! Heal 3 HP when this enemy is defeated. Yes, please, thank you. And another elite.
Time to strike.
Horurxi? Defensive Dark. Suffer -1 attack damage from black cards. That's awful. Summoning attack. Add an ally after a successful attack. Oh my god, this is awful. Okay, so to start, just get a contract on it, so I'll heal if it dies. And dual wield to get rid of the low card.
Sing.
Can't hurt it with black cards. But I can hurt it on defense. Hell yeah.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Pair of 6s. And then dual wield that
I'm not done
throw
yet.
a 9 at it. I can shank to 7. Pair of 5s, pair of jacks.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
And see a pair of 8s would only deal... Even a 3 of a kind with those 8s would only deal 1.
This will
But
be the
I
key.
can wild range. That's 7 to another pair of 8s. And there's victory over that guy. Okay. I've got no abilities in hand. I've got 1. Yeah, okay. Let's find out what the trinket is.
I will put this to good use.
A usable item. Okay. The Living Sieve. Heal 1 HP, gain 1 shield. Uses a heart. Okay. That's pretty cool. Another ability. Thieves' Tools, exploit weakness. I don't have enough debuffs for that. Deal attack damage equal to your defense to an enemy. I think I've got no defense. Let's get more Thieves' Tools. So, have to have this encounter.
I will end this.
The Sap Fiend. Oh, horrid. Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to Living Sieve with the healing parts here, and then I think just a pair of 8s is fine. I don't need 3 of a kind. And I'd rather keep the Joker for defense. Pair of 6s. Pair of 9s. That's why I kept the Joker for defense. After Image lets me get the Joker back. Living Sieve with back 2. And then 3 of a kind. I could 4 of a kind, but that's 1 extra damage. I'd rather have the defense. Okay. A 4 I can definitely beat. Here, have a king.
I will end this.
Let's go pair of queens. Yeah, I just hold here, I think. 5 beaten by a 7.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
And let's throw just an ace at it for the finish. Regular encounters are much less horrifying. Upgrade an ability in your deck. I think I want to go for that, which means I'm going to get this consumable.
Ah, a bonus.
Loose leaves. Overdraw 5 cards. Okay, cool.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Oh, hello, Fireorn. This might be a case where it's worth using that Joker. 3 of a kind. Yes. Yes. Gets 2 damage in. And I can use After Image to pull those back. Lovely. I mean, I might as well use Field and throw it. No, okay. Well, it gets rid of a big card. There's an ace. Okay, I'll use one of my jokers to do that.
Time to strike.
No need to use Contract here. Okay, hang on. Thieves' Tools, Jack into a
This
10.
will be the key.
3 of a kind will deal 2 damage. Add or remove an ability. Let's add one. Tap and deal 3 attack damage to an enemy. Costs a jack. Shadow Duel. Top deck against target until you lose, dealing 1 attack damage per win. Draw an ability if you lose the first top deck. That's pretty cool. Blackjack or Shadow Duel, I think. Let's try Shadow Duel.
Talon's ready.
And here it is. Is this in my hand? In your deck. Okay, cool. Let's use Shadow Duel.
The shadows come for
Let's
you.
see how that goes. I immediately failed the top deck. I can Obsidian Blade it though, so... Well, this is going. I should have used that on the crowned one. I didn't even notice it was a different thing until after I'd played that. Let's see. Let's just throw an ace at it. If I'm attacking with a single ace, I can never lose, which is nice. Do I want to do anything else? I don't think so. Actually, I'll do through 8. Because why not? It's a safe attack anyway. You know what? I will take one. Because I can use the Living Civ anyway.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Living Civ heals 1, but it said +2. I guess +1 health and +1 shield totals to +2.
I'm not done yet.
Get rid of the Crowned Dweller. Damn it. Okay. 5. Just 7. I can eat.
Time to strike. My daggers will sing.
King. Hell yeah. Cease. Upgrade an ability. So, if I hover over it, it does show me what it does. So that would make Shadow Duel cost 1 health, but then it would deal 2 per win. Cost 1 card, but draw 3. Cost a diamond under black, but heal. Draw an ability and heal. So you can see here, higher levels of card aren't necessarily always worth it, right? Because they have more cost to them. Ooh, okay. So that can cost me a card, but can then wild a black card in general. So Obsidian Blade might be worth it. Shank lets me win a failed attack of any kind and replaces the used card. That's real good. Sleight of Hand +2. Remove 2 cards from the enemy's combat hand. Draw 2 cards. That can be real good. Costs 2 black cards instead of a club. Taps the attacker and draws 2 cards. This is hard. I think I go with a Shank. Okay. Keeper, double attack, powerful attack.
I must test your end this.
So, double attack, it attacks twice per turn. Powerful attack deals +1 damage. we're going to make this the last fight because we're past the time that we would end the stream, so I'll call it after this battle, win or lose. So let's Obsidian Blade is 3. So I've got an ace. I think I only want the 1 because I can't lose a single attack with an ace. And I might as well
not done yet.
to wield 6. Nope, lost that, but it's fine.
Do your best to survive.
Pair of 4s, pair of 8s. Successful defense. Sure, I'll double my next attack damage against them. Get rid of your king. So that you're using a jack, I can beat you with a jack.
Time to strike.
Pair of aces. Should have used a pair of coins.
Second bang.
Safe. Pair of queens. So I'm going to win this fight
Guard
fairly
the
easily,
veil.
it looks like. Could change at any moment, but it's looking good. What's left in my... Oh, this just shows everything. Okay, sure, whatever, just... Pair of kings, it's Tarncat.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
Pair of 3s? Is that gonna work? It does!
You have proven
We have defeated the Keeper.
worthy.
Okay, I'll add a buff. So we can see what sort of buffs are available for the rogue. If you're under half HP, gain Siphon until end of encounter, at which point discard abilities, shuffle your ability deck, then draw 3 abilities. Ah, okay. +1 defense damage or +2 combat damage against enemies with a debuff. So Vlad's daggers can give you a chance to recover if you're low. Kame just lets you deal more damage when you're defending. I'll take the Vlad's daggers, but we are going to end here after I level up.
A worthy reward.
Okay, we're ending here. So, it's been fun today. Well, I've had fun at least, hopefully you have as well. If you want updates on when I'm going to be going live in the future, I have a Discord server as well as a Twitter channel or Twitter account. Those places I will make announcements when I'm about to go live. But it is at the same time, same day, every week. I also have a YouTube channel. Here you can find VODs from past streams, which will be uploaded generally a couple of days after the stream. That's because Twitch does not keep my VODs for more than a week, so I put them up there for posterity. And that should be everything. So, I don't believe anyone else is playing Aces and Adventures. Let's have a look. Nope, it's just me. So, nobody there to raid. Nobody I know is streaming. So, let's just end here. Thank you all very much for being with me today. Have a good one.